Ladies and gentlemen, please welcome for your morning announcements and welcome to the Vanta League's Hawaii Esports League. Please to give us some opening remarks for the morning, co-founder of Vanta, Ed Lallier.
Thank you. Aloha. Thank you so much for coming today to the Vanta's Hawaii Esports League Fall State Finals. Woo! I am so thankful for all of you to be here today, for all your hard work. It is big time awesome that you guys are here to support what we're really creating, which is a safe place to game with pathways for college scholarships and careers as well. My name is Ed Lallier, co-founder and Chief Corporate Development Officer at Vanta. We host the largest leagues here in Hawaii with over 90 registered schools, over 2,600 students, K through 12, which is amazing. And so today is going to be a showcase of all that growth, of all that performance in education. So we're really excited for you to see this today. So something to think about. I just wanted to just start off by saying thank you to our partners and sponsors. First, let's give it a hand to HPU for this amazing arena, for hosting this event. Thank you. Second, I'd like to say thank you to our league sponsors, UH West Oahu over here, Zippies, and Pacific American Foundation. Thank you so much. Would also like to say thank you to EMP Live Designs for doing the production here and the broadcast, the streaming, and the shoutcasting. You guys are great. Thank you so much. Also want to say thank you to Mobile IT Force. They are a perennial partner, and they do the best with respects to IT infrastructure and in affordable technology support for your esports computer lab or multifunctional room. So please take a look at their booth over there if you have any questions on how do I outfit my school, how do I get affordable tech, how do I get service and support. They're fantastic. So please make your way over to Mobile IT Force. All right, some housekeeping items today. First, if you have not received a raffle ticket, we are giving away lots of prizes today. You can take a look at that. Gaming chairs, consoles, keyboards, peripherals, the lot. Check it out. But if you have not got a red raffle ticket, please find me after this in the back, okay? Second, Hawaii Telecom is offering, and this is for all you parents and kids out here, so please listen, a free winter esports camp on December 30th. It's a Monday, okay? It's right here, 9 to 4. There's a middle school morning session and a high school afternoon session. Lunch will be included. It's totally free. Spots are limited. Currently, right now, I have open, let's see, I've got, what's my notes say? I've got right now 14 spots open for middle school, and I've got 5 spots for high school. Now for middle school, it's going to be Fortnite focus, so you're getting top tier, top 10% coaches giving your kids instruction for free for 3 hours, and then for high school, that will be Valorant. If you're interested, please go to the Vanta booth. You will see a QR code for the camp. First come, first serve. Please click on it and sign up, okay? That is for the winter esports camp, so the kids can get out of trouble and learn something good, okay? All right, second, we are also doing, like I said, a raffle and some different giveaways throughout the day. So we're gonna have about 3 raffle giveaway segments, which will be complementing the awards. So please stick around. The longer you stay, the bigger the prizes are, okay? Okay. Lastly, bathrooms. You got one here in the back. You got one outside. If you need actually validation for for parking, you get validation out in the back, right there in the registration table. Okay. All right. Aside from that, please enjoy yourselves. Please find me if you have any questions. And good luck to all the competitors today. Aloha.
Thank you. Oh. All right, thank you, Ed, and everybody. Welcome to the Vanta Hawaii Esports League Fall Finals weekend. Of course, today we got some middle school action, but start off. I'm Professor Layton. Of course, this is my friend Henry. How are you doing today, man?
It's actually been a while since I got to see you in person. Hello?
Okay, yeah, there you go.
It's actually been a while since I got to see you in person,
Yeah.
so I'm glad that we get to have a little reunion. And speaking of a little reunion, We've got a sort of in-house situation for our first matchup. If you're not too sure what an in-house is, it's basically when you go against people that you're already familiar with, just for the sake of competition and figuring out each other's weaknesses. That's kind of what we have set up here, because Eva Mackay is kind of going to be facing their inner demons, per se.
You're not wrong. And, of course, Eva Mackay versus Eva Mackay, and winner faces Eva Mackay as well. So yeah, we have the Claws versus a low 3, and winner, I believe, faces off against the Tigers of Eva Mackay Middle School. So yeah, if you're an Eva Mackay fan, you're loving it this weekend.
That's pretty true. I mean, we've always seen them, especially in the middle school Saturdays, always popping off in the League of Legends department. So it's good to see that they're still holding that sort of monopoly on victory, perhaps. But who knows, you know? That could change down the road, but for now, it is sort of like a dynasty era for them.
The dynasty era, indeed. The last couple of years, you always see that at least one of their teams make it to the finals. Not both teams make it to the finals, which we've seen it before. Both teams are at that pinnacle, at the top. And yeah, I'm actually see what happens, especially with all these new champions, new changes to League of Legends. Of course, we talked about it earlier. A lot of new champions, a lot of new ability changes as well, item changes for this game. If you're not familiar with it, of course, they added a new champion to League of Legends, Ambessa. So if you watch Arcade, you know who that is.
That's pretty true. Although, I don't know. Is Arcane too new for the middle schoolers? I hope not. That's gonna put us in Unk status kind of thing. You know what I mean?
I mean, Arcane just came out like
that's true,
not even a month ago.
That's true, but there might be some scenes they cannot watch in there.
Very valid, very valid. But yeah, I'm interested to see like anything in particular you would take to see for today, especially for League of Legends. Like any particular champions, any particular metas you want to see, besides Senna, of course.
Okay. Bias aside, I actually think that we're not going to see too many new champions. I think we're going to see a lot of the very nice, easy to play around with, tried and true champions. An example that I can think of for ADCs would be something like Misfortune.
Yeah.
You know, you don't really have to even move during your ult. It's as simple as that kind of thing. And it's mostly just because it's easier to execute. Easier to play, and so if you're trying to make your team move on to the finals, then that's kind of something you want to do. You don't want to make too flashy and then you don't know what's going on. You kind of want to stick with the basics.
Yeah, always the basics. You tried and true. We see things like the Oriana as well, maybe the Kled. You know, I believe we saw it last semester. We saw a lot of Kled being played by these teams. And yeah, it's not just League of Legends happening. So we have a lot of other games happening on the main stage, of course. Overwatch happening right after, following the League of Legends finals, along with Apex Legends, and of course, the game you're a fan of, Valorant.
Yep, this guy. Where is he? I love this guy.
You love Vincent Fabron?
That's actually his name.
Really? I didn't know that.
Chambers his code name. Anyway, well, we are going to start with the other Riot game, which is League of Legends.
Riot's going to own all these titles at one point.
They do have a new trading card game.
Yep, and then soon an MMO, then a fighting game, and yeah, a lot of stuff.
I think 2XKO is going to come out soon.
Yeah, hopefully.
We might actually have that in Vanta pretty soon.
I'd be down to see
if it gets official licensing, it could happen.
Yeah, now we got to start casting 2XKO as well.
You can have it.
Oh,
I know for a fact our head producer, K-Tad, is excited for something like that to finally show up on this scene, you know? Like, he's a big Tekken fan.
Street Fighter as well.
Street Fighter as well.
Yeah, so amazing game. I mean, I'd be down to see Street Fighter here, but of course, besides that, we also have a lot of games not happening on broadcast. Of course, like Fortnite, chess. We have, I believe, Super Smash Bros. As well. I believe Smash is also happening
in the other room.
So a lot of action happening this weekend. So even if your team's not playing on stage, you can always support them off stage as well. You can watch your games on the side, either on the stations to our right.
Might be on the islands, right here.
Yeah, you have some seats over there to spectate them, if anything. I do believe, what games are happening on the side soon? I believe we'll be seeing some, nothing happening at the moment, but we'll have Super Smash Brothers on that side of the room as well.
I think Smash Ultimate is kind of nice. People were saying Rocket League is kind of like the esports that parents could understand because it's just soccer with cars.
Both of them.
I think Smash Ultimate, I think the Super Smash franchise has been around for long enough where some of the parents are starting to have played the original one. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
And so it's sort of like this generational thing that, yes, the roster's been changing, the mechanics have changed a bit, but it's almost like a universal thing. Yeah. It's like how, people know who Mario is, even though they may not have touched a Mario game in their life. So Smash Ultimate, it's a casual game. It can get competitive, and it's always a good thing to watch.
Always a good thing to watch. And, yeah, we're still waiting for the teams to get set up for this game. So, yeah, you'll be seeing our pretty faces for a little bit longer.
Do you think because it is just kind of like an Eva Mackay ladder right now, do you think that we are going to see some gameplay entirely decided just by the fact that they know each other?
I think there'll be a lot of ego battles in there.
You think there will be a lot of ego
like
battles?
you see top lane, like you see like, all right, let's do this 1v1, no jungler pressure. You know, we're just gonna go straight at each other, hand in hand. You know, fight it out, duke it
More
out.
kills than farm type of thing?
Yeah,
Okay.
I would not be surprised. Yeah, more kills than farm indeed. Yeah, looks like they're about to start the draft in a little bit as well.
All I'm saying is if I see any top laner freeze for more than 3 waves, a high school better sign them,
Okay.
like immediately.
So we don't want to see any of those like Garens or Singe going
I
past
kind
tier
of think
2.
we'll see Garen, though.
Probably
It's
Garen.
a tried and true simple, you know?
What is it? Garen, Scions.
Cho'Gaths, Mundos.
Yeah, all the
know?
big beefy
The
guys.
big beefy guys that will still slap your ADC for half their HP bar is beautiful.
Yeah, and here we go. We're already into the
Awesome.
drafting phase for this. You see on the blue side, I believe that is going to be Team
Team
3. And on the right side, we do see Team Claws. So you don't see the names for the right side, but we do know there's Star 89, Haley and Jewel, Mizu Keegan, Cookie, and Gojo Satoru.
Gojo Satoru, JJK1.
JJK, of course. And you
Yes.
see the bands already.
We need the full names.
Caitlyn, Set, and Bessa, and of course you talk about Misfortune being banned, and of course Seraphine, which our observer, he loves Seraphine, but unfortunately you don't get Seraphine today, Chris.
Unfortunately. But if you think about it, right, other than DM Bessa, all of these champions are actually very simple champions.
very
if you
simple
think about
indeed.
it. Their kit's not complicated. Warwick is also another simple champion ever since that rework that happened really, really long ago. That would
That's not that simple.
completely counteract.
So if you're not familiar with League of Legends, you usually have 4 abilities you can use for your characters. This character has like 10 abilities.
He's got 10. Well, you really don't use 6 of them, to be honest.
You're not wrong. And of course, we see the other ones. Jhin and Tristana, very fast lock and phase. So Jhin, Tristana. Jhin, of course, we see the sort of artistry aside on the red side so far. Blue team, Lux locked. I'm not sure if that's going to be a Lux support, Lux mid. It could both viable no
Both are
matter
good,
what.
yes.
I want to say probably towards the support position. The question is, though, if that's Hwei support or Hwei mid.
I was just going to say,
Yeah.
we don't actually know what it is. It could be the case that both teams have locked in the same roles already, which means 2 things. Number 1, top lane is completely fair game. And number 2, you're taking that gamble of whether you want to be banning a support or a mid laner because of those 2 flexes that we talked about.
They banned Fiddlestick, so they might think this is more top lane, maybe.
That could be possible.
could
Like
be
we
a thing.
said, these are their same school.
They
They
probably
do know more
gotta
about
get
each other
every
than we do.
single time.
Exactly.
They probably have in-houses normally, so this is a normal day for them.
This is a normal Saturday. Well, they probably never had it on a Saturday.
True. And it looks like
They skipped the band.
skipped
They
the
don't need it. I think they're comfortable with just 3.
Mm.
Kind of a weird flex because they're the 3rd team, but you know.
Hey, you never know. They could be the better team. They could be the better team for all we know.
Underdog stories are pretty powerful sometimes, so
But of
we're gonna
course,
have to see where that goes.
They mentioned earlier, but this is going to be like it says on the screen. It is a best of 1. So you lose this, you're already out. You're not
That's true.
have a chance to get into the finals. While winning this, you have one more opportunity to win it all. But unfortunately, it is against the quote-unquote best team in this Vanta middle school division,
Okay. Which is also Evan Mackay.
which also F. Mackay.
Yeah.
Is it F. Mackay beats F. Mackay? They face off against F. Mackay.
I see. Anivia, okay. I think Anivia is decently simple.
Yeah, basically simple.
know-
You can just throw your ultimate down once you hit level 6. You wave clear and you rotate around. And
You know what I want to see now?
what?
I want to see a Poppy support on their team.
Ooh.
Flex that Hoi mid,
Well,
Poppy support,
where will
Anivia wall into the Poppy slam.
So where would Jin go?
ADC.
Oh, okay. And Nivea top lane?
Oh yeah, sure, whatever. I didn't think about this.
Anyway, the rest
Oh
of the
look,
picks
Garen!
did get picked out, so it is going to be a Garen top and opposite side.
We actually predicted the top laners,
We
Mundo
did,
and Garen,
yeah.
so that
Well,
works out pretty
technically
well.
speaking, that could still be a Mundo in the jungle, which, actually speaking, if we have the names correctly, Jaden C is a jungler, so that might be potentially. You know, they could still swap around, but yeah, we see the picks happening already, so it does look like it is going to be a Hwei support, but they could still swap it around. That could be a Nivea support as well, for all we know. But overall, though, very interesting laning phase. Jin Hwei, if it is true, you could land your QQ, and the Jin just stun them, root them in place with his W.
The crazy thing about the Jin and either the Hoyer or Nivea is it's actually the same thing as the Jin Xerath lane, where you could just be super, super oppressive and position forward with just going double comment. Double comment, poke, I mean, it's all CC. Every ability is just going to be CC straight up. So you don't really have to try too hard, and you'll already pressure the opponent out of lane. Not to mention, Tristana is very, very short range, and Lux is very, very defensive. Now, with that being said, if the Trist and the Lux manage to hit the level 2 first, Jin is absolutely donezo in that lane. Tristana, level 2, just triumphs over Jin. You take the Halo Blades, and you finish proccing your 4 proc on your E, your explosive charge, and that's kind of all you really need to do. After that, that's really it. You just rinse and repeat, and that Jin has no more presence. But, again, the range is definitely on the side of the Jin lane.
Yep, I mean, we've been in those lanes before. Jin is across the screen, lands you with the W. Hui does his damage, or his damage support does all the damage, and then all of a sudden, it's the curtain call and exit stage right for the opposing bot lane. So I want to see how the Claws play this heavy poke bot lane against a more of a, I guess, a standard bot lane, really. I mean, you usually see like Caitlyn Lux, but unfortunately, Caitlyn was banned out by that very team, by Team Low 3.
And because the Lux came out, they might have actually known that that was coming.
Yeah.
Like, they knew they were going to pick Jin and some Mage, so they had to get rid of the Caitlyn Lux so that they could be the ones pushing the other Eva Mackay out of the lane. The thing that I'm very interested about, because we've kind of seen, it's not a recent addition. I think we had it last Vanta event also, but it's the Grubs. We've always been talking about the Grubs and how they're super, super helpful. They're the only way for you to really siege turrets now before 14 minutes, now that Herald spawns after 14 minutes. 4 Grubs, you get that single mite. 6 Grubs, you get the 2 mites. The thing that I am curious about is not the priority on the Grubs, but whether the middle schoolers understand the purpose of the Grubs. There's a lot of junglers that like to take 6 Grubs and then have 3 lanes that are pushing against them, which kind of just makes it very useless.
Yeah.
But there's also junglers that know Grubs are good for pushing lanes, so maybe they'll take some Grubs and then focus a lane. I just want to see if they are going to utilize those Grubs effectively, or whether we might even see some Drake priority because of that lack of understanding.
Yeah, potentially, and I do want to see as well what rift we do get for this game. We see a lot of things like we always mean about it's a cloud rift, it's an ocean rift, but Hextech as well. And especially with some of these lineups, you don't see like you have the Inferno, so it'll be really good to have, especially for things like the Jin, like the Hawaii. You know, upset as well. You do have things like the Lux can do a lot of damage. Aurelion Sol, once he's stacked up, he does a lot of damage.
He does a lot of damage. The one Drake, I would say we've got a really excited fan in the front over there. The one Drake I would say that might be pretty interesting is actually, and it's not usually the interesting one, but I'm going to say it's going to be Cloud this time. If you think about it, a lot of both teams have CC. CC, if you don't know for the parents, is crowd control. It basically makes characters move slower or even prohibit them from moving.
Rooted,
Exactly. There's a lot of CC on both teams, and if somebody gets caught out by one of those abilities and they can't move or they're slowed, Cloud Dragons give you the opportunity to just pounce on that so much faster. We were already talking about how the game's going to be pretty scrappy just because it's a little bit of an in-house. They've bred each other time and time over and over again. Those Cloud Dragons could help that tempo accelerate.
Hey, I'm down to watch the scrap happen, honestly.
Oh, yeah. I mean,
we want to see the bloodbath. We want to see, the inter-school rivalries, really. You see, like, oh, your friends in the opposing top lane, you see them get into it. But, yeah, I want to see what happens here, especially, like you mentioned, around the objectives, around the Grubs, around the Barons, around the Dragons, especially with this sort of team comps. You saw the Hecarim. You saw the things like the Warwick. So, very aggressive.
Both work well with Cloud Dragons.
Both work well as we are onto the Rift for our first game. The semifinals is here for the Vanta Hawaii Esports League. On the blue side, Eva Mackay Middle School, LOL3. The right side is the Claws. Who will face off against Eva Mackay in the grand finals?
Absolutely so. And just to remind the audience, like you said, this is a best of one. This is a do-or-die moment in the semifinals. This is it. You're going to either do well or you're not going to do well. That's a Warwick top. You called it. That's going to be a Mundo jungle. We did mention the possibility of a flex, but Star 89 going in for something. Samurai's having none of it.
I do want to point out the summoner spells, Henry.
Go ahead.
So we have 3 teleports on both sides. So we do see the 80 carry for LO3 have the teleport. On the opposite side, it is the support Anivia. We were wrong. It's not support for the Hoi. It's support Anivia. It's Gojo Satoru on that champion.
Okay. And instead of opting for double Comet, they're actually going for the entire kit. We've got Dark Harvest and Electrocute on the Jin and the Anivia respectively, okay? Not only that, the Lily, the Tristana on the side of Team 3, did not opt for that level 2 all-in. Instead, is going for that late-game Lethal Temple carry.
Man, Mundo, I can't do that. So stop flexing on us.
Boom, 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 boom.
And you do see both supports leashing for their jungler, while the 80 carries already in lane. So a little bit of an EXP advantage for these 80 carries.
Which is interesting.
Which is interesting, which with how this game can go, I do like it though. Especially with what they start off with. But it looks like Woozy might get there. Okay, never mind. Won't get there in time for the EXP. It's top side though.
Well,
standard.
With the amount of EXP they missed through the first couple minions, both ADCs are actually going to hit a minion or 2 early.
Yeah, they should hit it at the end of this wave then, right?
Yeah, like almost right here-ish. It's not going to do anything per se, just because, you know, they opted for their late game type of all-ins in terms of their runes. So we're not going to see anything too crazy. But we already have a little bit of a gold discrepancy in this mid lane. You already talked about the Aurelion Soul's farming potential. You can kind of see it right here.
He's so annoying.
Shout out to Keegan. He loves Aurelion Soul.
He does love Aurelion Soul on top side. Samurai Bubblegum getting a little bit damage up by Star 89. And I mean, like you mentioned, it's Garen with Conqueror. And he does so much damage when he spins too. He's like a Beyblade, if you know what a Beyblade is.
Yes. And press the attack is not actually something we see too commonly on Warwick.
You usually see Lethal Temple or the Conqueror.
We do see Lethal Temple or the Conqueror, and it's mostly just because I think what the goal here is going to be is this Warwick is going to go Bork, and is going to going to proc the press the attack before he ults. That way the ult does more damage, the life still kicks in more, and then you basically heal back up to full. It's like a free health pack with your ultimate. It doesn't matter how much health they're at, it kind of does that for you. Already 200 gold in the lead for the side of Team 3. You can kind of see gold leads across the board right now, except for the support div.
Yeah, supports, these are just doing damage. It really takes a lot of damage from both the Anivia, and actually both AD carries take a lot of damage from the opposite supports. Woozy there, you see no more mana for both of the supports as well. So use all the abilities to make sure they can get that damage down on the opposing AD carries to stop them from farming. But of course, you see Lily does have that teleport, so can teleport back into lane if needed.
I do want to talk about that teleport just for a little bit, especially on the side of the Anivia support. We've actually seen some supports take that TP. Usually it's with the spellbook, just so they can be a little bit more flexible. But I think what's going to happen here is there is a potential that the Anivia can just like do a surprise roam up into the top lane, make a play happen. If it doesn't work out or whatever, you just TP back bot. But hold on.
Jadency is going to be ghosting in, forces the flash out from Star, and you know, just a summoner spell for summoner spell. Look at Jadency was on a ward the whole time, so Star did see that coming.
Yes, but just to play it safe.
Yeah.
They will not need that for the next 5 minutes, surely.
Oh, and Star's going back in. You know, Star fight it out. Do it as the TG comes into the mid lane, and not getting the whole mana and whole health back though.
Yeah, I mean the wave was already crashing in. You're gonna be behind in the XP.
So is it health or EXP and gold?
Right,
I prefer the gold, you know.
What a lot of people don't really think about is that you actually do get health and EXP, health and mana back in lane. It's just really slow.
Very slow.
But you've got the D ring, so it helps with the mana problem a little bit more. Jaden's kind of sticking around, making sure that nothing too crazy happens. I think it's because both top laners are about to hit 6, and they don't want any funny business.
Yeah, but I do believe Samurai should hit it first, though, based on the EXP gains. As bot side, we see Haley there. Haley just vibing with the homies right now in the bot lane. Dragon did spawn, though. It is going to be an Ocean Drake, as we saw.
Okay.
All right.
He's just visiting.
Oh, double root. Okay, I see who adds. Oh, jump in from Lily. there's no deadly flourish there, so there's a lot of whiffs, except for that Lux Q. That hit.
That was a double hit.
That was a double hit.
That was
Nice, good
impressive.
job.
I don't think either of us thought that was gonna hit any.
As Jaden C might get spotted out here. I'm not sure if Jaden sees the dragon get taken. Oh no, Jaden sees it now, but Jaden's on the opposite side of the jungle.
Yeah, and I don't know if they actually saw him walk in. So this might just
No,
be.
he was on a ward. The ward just expired as he was walking on it.
I guess so.
So
But I mean, they could be focused on the dragon. Now I've seen it.
So Jaden gets the wolves, but the first Drake goes over to Team Claws.
Okay, I'm a little concerned about the mana levels here for Dojo. He's not going to be able to infinite domain with no mana pool. So
Oh yeah, he can't use infinite domain. You
oh,
know.
but they hold on, junglers.
Jaden versus Haley. Haley is level 5 though, but she's beating Gonzalez.
Exactly. Now, it is going to be, the icon is wrong, that's the spectator bug. It is going to be Hex Tech next.
Yeah.
Which does actually leave the possibility open for a Cloud Soul.
True. So it was just Hextech and Chemtech that have the bugs though, right?
No, all of them do.
Oh, all of them
By
have the bug.
default, they will just show Ocean.
Really? I didn't know that.
So
That's unlucky.
It's a little unlucky. But at least we know Baron is coming in 13 minutes.
And Grubs has not been taken just yet though by either team. It did spot up a while ago as Gojo Satoru is back. That Q takes up a lot of mana. That's like a fourth of his mana right there.
He did eat the fruit.
So
that helped him out a little bit.
Nice.
And I mean, we did kind of talk about this in the precursor as we were loading in. What is going to be the read on the? Oh, hold on, an engage.
Oh, engage from Lily. Lily getting low, forced to flash out. Cookie, the wall blocks Cookie. Little friendly fire there as Lily uses the flash and stays alive.
That was almost what you could call like a pixel perfect flash, because if it was just a little bit less to the left, he would have been on the other side of that wall, and it would have been absolutely disastrous.
He would have been rulered.
Yeah, he would have been unalive, you know. So this does mean that the Lux is alone in lane now, so they can do a little bit of poke. They are tanking the tower a little bit, but you kind of just crash the wave, your job is done.
Yeah. And still TP available for Lily, so Lily has the option. She does want to TP back into that lane, but not choosing to just yet.
The simple days of top lane. It's just Warwick Garen, you know?
Yep. Has a lot of damage because of the press the attack. They're still
Yeah,
fighting
it is
it.
procced already. Oh,
Who
no
wins?
ult's being used.
A guy in big buff armor or a big bad wolf?
Yeah, I mean, the thing is, Samurai does have to worry about the health bar because Garen's ult isn't execute based on how low you are.
But you still have the Vampire Accepted though. You still have the item advantage, some small, Omni Vamp advantage as well. Silence though.
Silence will not stop the Vamp stuff they're dealing, so that's kind of nice. The Aurelian Soul has been consistently low on mana. Are we going to see a Grub take? Okay,
Ooh,
it
and especially with a champion like Hecarim, it's very easy to do damage to all of them with your W and your Q. Like, yeah, good position from Haley.
There
Nice
it
job.
is.
Oh, but here comes
Oh.
Jaden.
Round 2.
Round 2, but Star's coming in. Like I said, has the goes in. I don't think Star needs help for this. Star doing some damage here. Warwick with the ultimate. Star's getting low. Will she get out? No,
Okay,
first
that's
blood
first
goes
blood.
to Jaden. But here comes Gojo Satoru, domain expansion, like you said. But it'll just be getting away. They do get the grubs though.
Okay, so Grubs in exchange for their top laner. Not too bad. The top laner was a little bit ahead in the state, and the wave is kind of in their favor. Still does have teleport, can use
And
it
his
in a
flash
couple
is up
seconds
now.
here. But, I think it's an okay trade. It really, again, does depend on how the Claws decide to use these Grubs, because if you take the Grubs and you're not in a pushing lane, it doesn't really help out that much.
Yeah, I think what we see, it's been the top side and the mid side for Claws being pushing heavily, while bot side you do see the likes of, even though they get poked out a lot, Who's and Lily are pushing it very aggressively with how much they can do.
So I would say on the side of the Claws, the only pushing lane is actually the mid lane.
Oh, really? Oh, yeah, fair enough. Yeah, because that happened top side, yeah.
And yeah, it's just because Samurai's pushing in and Lily's pushing in. Lily has been kind of keeping the Claws on edge with these jump ins, and I think that's really a testament to how confident this player is. But I will say, Warberini has been running low on mana very, very consistently.
Yeah.
Pushes up when that mana pool is up, gets pushed in when that mana pool is shrinking. So you can kind of see that advantage right here. Look, that's a fourth of the mana pool already. There's only one cycle left of abilities for it.
For the most part, you do see a lot of these AP champions go for Lost Chapter first, but if you look at the item pathways, went for the Amplified Tome along with, a Rod there. But on the opposite side, the Huey has a lot of chapters. So, the item differentials, you're able to, every time you level up, you do gain some mana back. So that's some differentials there for the Huey versus the Anivia.
Oh, but a gank. Ghosted in.
Oh, ghosted in. I'm not sure if W's up just yet. Jaden's going in. This Mundo, they go where they please.
There, flash.
Flash the barrier, and that should be another kill to slow down.
There it
And
is.
Jaden, there's the assist for Lily. But Jaden doing what Jaden does best. Mundo goes where they please.
That is just getting help. There it is. Very good at that.
Hey, let's go. Let's go, who? Hey, Evan Mackay wins these.
I don't know how to feel about the fact that the person that has only built health has 2 kills. I guess that's just a testament to the abilities of stat sticking in League of Legends.
True.
That's going to be my favorite ARAM item, which is Heart Steal. My favorite sound ever to listen to in the entire game. But
Dunk.
I think the reason you're pointing out that last chapter in the mid lane and the reason that it can't be helped is this Aurelion Soul is probably going to start with a Rod of Ages.
Oh, you're so... I
Which is,
did not think of that,
which is
yeah.
not something that you can lost chapter
Oh,
into, but
But here comes the onslaught from Haley. Haley getting low, though, but doing so much damage on top of
Good
who?
Blizzard.
But in a good ultimate from Lily to send off Haley. Haley steals the
Solid.
Hex Tech. Jaden will fall. So will the Lux. Double kill goes over to the Anivia. The Dragon's in the center after the Hex Tech falls, but instead it would just be a fallback from both squads. So it's 2 for nothing. And the
bug
Dragon.
fixed itself. It's Mountain now.
Hey, nice, from Mountain.
Okay.
So if you guys don't know, after 2 Drakes, the map does change a bit. With Mountain,
little bit.
it does add a little bit more, I guess,
It
these.
adds and removes some terrain.
Yes. I look at the gold, Henry. So you see some of the gold differentials. Jaden still has that advantage because that early 2 kills. And besides that, it is pretty much, for the most part, even, except for the support. Double kill for the support. Bramble Vest Anivia. That's a tank Anivia.
That is a tank Anivia.
Which, I haven't seen that before, but in the mid lane. Oddly.
Okay, I've seen it all.
It was against Yone. It was Yone, one of the brothers. It was against one of them.
Okay, either way, the gold is even, as you said. The gold lead is actually in the favor of Team 3.
Slightly, yeah.
But if you were to factor in how much stats you get from Dragons and Grubs, I would actually say that the Claws are in a bit of a lead right here. After all, it's like 100 or 2 that separates them right now, but if you think about it, Claws have a little bit more health and mana regen. They've got a little bit bonus attack speed and ability haste from Hex Tech. They've got 3 Grubs, even though they're being shoved in. Yeah. So we do see Mundo making action again in the top lane, though.
Side, Mundo goes where he pleases. Looks like Garen forced a flash out, and yeah, easy peasy. Deja vu, as topside Grubs being started up by the Mundo.
The other team, yeah.
Yeah, and I do believe it'll be 3 for 3 then, because Hecarim is in that bot side trying to put pressure there. So no little Grubby spawning, unfortunately, Henry.
So I actually want to tell you something interesting that I
what's
learned from one of our mutual friends. I'm going to say the name, and you're going to be like, of course. It's Kua.
Of course.
Kua actually told me that the Grubs give global gold.
Oh, you know what? That does make sense. Trying to get more gold in your pocket, as Herald does spawn immediately. It looks like only 1 Grub was taken actually by Team LOL3 because of that timing positioning. Here comes the speed boost from Haley. Samurai Jade getting flanked by 2 members of Team Claws. A big ultimate, but Star will slay the bubblegum. Good wall flash from Gojo Satoru. But that's the wrong domain you're in, man.
He made a beautiful wall, and then he face planted into his own wall.
It's like when you're skateboarding, you do a cool trick, but you go face forward into a wall. As 2 is in a bad spot. Flash forward, flash from the Hecarim.
I think that's enough.
That is a very fast pony, as Haley finally gets their first kill.
That is a different type of pink pony club. That is not it.
It's a big pony, man. It's a big pony.
Bigger pony club.
A very big pony.
And just like that, just in a couple of skirmishes and a couple of fights, you see the Claws now showing that lead that has accrued from the Dragons and the Grubs, taking impact in a team fight. And
we do see the big ultimate is available as well for
the Asol.
Warberini. And yeah, we've seen how big these ultimates can get.
See, this is one of the things I need to ask Keegan about, because I'm actually a big proponent of just using the ult on cooldown.
Oh,
The thing
really?
that he told me is the stacks that you get on Aurelion Soul, you need 75 to upgrade the ult to the big ult.
Yeah.
The thing is, it doesn't actually start the counter until you level up the ultimate at level 6. So you can actually collect, like, let's say 40 stacks, but once you hit level 6, you still need 75 more in order to get the OP ult. Which is why I personally think you should just use the ult on cooldown.
That's
but
fair.
some people like to save up to that 75 increment every time just to get that big ultimate.
And because of it is Tristana and how fast she's able to push these turrets. First turret was taken out by Team LO3, but in the mid lane, you do see Gojo Satoru
egg.
getting ganked. Spoilers for
Egg.
JJK fans. Here's the egg coming out from Gojo, but not enough damage just yet. Here comes Onslaught of Shadows. So much damage. The big ultimate coming in from Brilliant Soul, but Haley's in trouble. So is who? But Mundo goes where he pleases. But Gojo Satoru will slay the Lux with the ultimate.
Accidentally stepped back into the blizzard, aimed the ult in it, and unfortunately that's just another kill going over. It looked like a really, really good engagement.
I think Haley would have fallen there, but the ultimate didn't go off because it happened right by a millisecond.
Oh.
Unlucky.
Unlucky.
Yeah, that's the best way to put it.
It is what it is.
It is what it is. But look at the items. It's a double collector start for this bot lane.
Oh.
They just want to scrap.
Oh, okay. So the Triss build can get pretty interesting. If you think you're in a comfortable place, you can choose to go the collector build.
True.
I have seen the new Yuntals also being used by Tristanas, but not as commonly. But Asol's going in again.
So going in, Gojo's in trouble. There's no egg form, and a shutdown goes over to this Mundo. Heartsteel does get propped. 48 stacks in the pocket of Jaden. We did a chat.
Absolutely. This might be a Bloodthirster start Warwick.
Oh!
Which is kind of interesting. I mean, it makes a little bit of sense because there's no like health tank on the side of the claws. There's armor tank on the side of the claws. So this might be a BT into a O Cookie.
Yeah, meanwhile, turret was taken for the red team,
Heartsteel.
but Cookie gets Heartsteel, gets buttershotted, uses the barrier, everyone flashes, everyone ghosts, and Cookie will fall to Lily.
Oh,
As a
okay.
Herald Beam is being popped by Haley here. Welcome back, everybody, to the Vanta Hawaii Esports League Fall Finals Weekend. For those of you just joining us, let me give you a small synopsis. Ev Makai beat Ev Makai. Now they're going against Ev Makai in the finals. Follow that? Okay.
That pretty much sums up anime. You know?
But yeah, we're in for a good matchup, of course. Team LOL3 did beat out the Claws. Now they're going against the full-on Tigers.
Yep. And so, I mean, I don't know if this was something that they expected or whether this was like
Maybe.
some,
You never know.
you know, destined result, but there they are. They probably sit next to each other in class also, so now they get to sit next to each other on stage. And we got to think about how Team 3 came into their victory, right? It wasn't just some by chance type of situation. The Mundo snowballed early, got the 2 kills, finished Heartsteel super early.
Lily just pushing bot lane the whole time.
Lily pushed bot lane the whole time. They gave up the objectives in exchange for lane presence. So they gave up the first 3 grubs, they gave them the first 2 dragons, they got that lane presence, they pushed up, and what ended up happening as a result? They got the last 3 grubs, they got the next 3 dragons, they got the Herald and the Baron.
Yep, and here we are in the now for the second match, picks and bans. Looks like on the blue side, we will be having T3 again, while on the red side, of course, is the new guys, of course.
Which you can't see their names.
Can't see the name. Yeah, we're not sure what the order is just yet for them. But of course, you see the bans coming out already. Warwick being banned along with the Mundo. So they don't want to see the Mundo from Jaden again.
It was very scary.
Jaden's Mundo was like 11-3 at the end of the game or something.
Yeah,
like
it was very scary.
It was double digits. I know that, and it was phenomenal. And of course, the Lux being target banned as well against who's. And yeah.
I would laugh pretty hard if what ends up happening is they just continue to ban out what was played in the first game. And that's kind of like all that is said and done kind of situation.
That would be hilarious. And Ambessa, the new champion of League of Legends, will be banned out. So we'll see how that happens. And of course, as Seraphine being picked up, our observer is happy.
I don't think our observer has noticed yet.
Oh, yeah, I don't think he noticed. Yeah,
he's kind of just making conversation, not noticing that Seraphine has been locked in.
Yeah, Seraphine locked in, right, Chris? Yeah. Yeah, he's not paying attention. But as said, we see it the whole way. So we saw from last game, from the Claws, the Tigers picking up, along with the Zerath. And Zerath, that's a lot of poke coming out from both of these mages. On the opposite side, you mentioned the last game. Here it is, Misfortune, along with, I briefly talked about him, the Yone.
So, I mean, so far, Team 3's got an excellent comp going on right now.
Amazing team fight.
Everything is literally shoot it forward, the comp.
Yep.
And we actually see a similar situation on the Tigers as we saw, I believe, on the Claws, which is this mid-support flex of mages.
Basically, while you'll see like Team 3, like in their face, you'll see try to be in their face, front to back. You'll see Tigers pretty much be like a screen away hitting them. With the Zerath, with the Hwei, with the Jin. As
the what hit me comp.
Is it where they at? Where they at? As now opposite side, we see the secondary ban phase coming out. I like the Nocturne ban, especially if they do pick a Nocturne. You have the Darkness. You go in, Seraphine can combo with that. Plus, it negates all that vision denial for Team Tigers.
Absolutely right. So we're gonna have to see where the Hwei and the Zerath end up. I do think it's Jin Zerath bot, the traditional.
Yes.
And then the next question is, are they going to use the summoners, or not the summoners, the runes that match that lane appropriately?
Double Comet?
We've seen Double Comet. I've also recently started seeing Double Harvest.
Oh,
so
I like that.
That's not as prevalent as Double Comet in terms of poke, but once you get around half health or lower, it gets really, really dangerous. We're starting to see common ban from both sides. Both teams are missing their junglers, and so they're going to lock away that Master Yi and not save it for last pick. That does introduce a good balance of damage, but that does mean that your top laner is going to have to be a tank here.
Yeah, things like you mentioned last game, the Scion, you have the Ornn, the Cho'Gath, of course, Mundo, Jax, Warwick, Volibear, all on the table, and now Jaden to see what this carry can pick. The Silas.
Okay.
Potentially that might be Silas jungle actually for Jaden, as Nas is getting hover for Samurai Bubblegum. And now locked and loaded. We saw them on the Warwick last game. And now they're gonna be the Omed farmer, farming it up.
We can see the coach for Eva Mackay in the camp there.
Which one?
Team 3.
Yeah.
Esports League.
Like I don't like you putting me on the spot like that. What if I just say Eva Mackay wins?
I mean, technically you will not be wrong.
That is the politically correct answer, is that Eva Mackay will win this game.
And they will also lose, unfortunately.
Yes, they are going to have a 50% win rate on this specific game.
Which not the first time that has happened to them in the finals. It's happened to them many times.
That is true.
But man,
what does that mean? Are they the best coin flip team because they're perfect 50-50, or like, you know what I'm saying?
I mean, they always dominate in the Vanta scene for Eva Mackay, especially with how the infrastructure is, it's a lot of support for the multitude titles, either if it's League of Legends, Valorant, all these different titles they have. Like, you see the support, you see all the coaches, the parents here supporting them, so, props to them for making this squad of, three teams, putting the work.
I mean, I think the most impressive thing is that middle school is a very big time of transition for these kids, like puberty is happening, your friend groups are shifting, maybe because you went to different middle schools from different elementary schools, stuff like that. that dynamic is kind of changing a lot. And to have the support of your friends and family, you know, try to pursue this esports career, which is definitely still a brand new field.
Yeah.
You know, it's a very positive sign for these teenagers as they head into their their young adult mature years. That they have the support of their friends and family like that.
Support indeed, as I saw the fist bumps coming out from the teams and the icons. And here we are in the grand finals for the League of Legends fall semester. The blue side is going to be Team LOL3. The red side, will, of course, will be the Tigers. The claws are sharpened. And yeah, let's see what happens in this one.
So this is actually something that Alawi's used to do back before the top and bot lane got a bit wider, which is step up in the wave. Step up in the lane, just so you can set up your tentacles in a more
optimal position.
Aggressive position, exactly. Now that the lane's a little bit wider, that is not actually as prevalent as it used to be. The best place to slam the Alawi passive is now 1, right in the middle of the lane by the alcove, or 2, right by the corners that you see where the walls end in the lane. So you actually either want to be very pushed in, or you want to be the one pushing in. Otherwise, you're not going to play Alawi as wonderfully as you would like to use your passive to its full advantage.
Interesting. So we see Lily by themselves again. Only it's going to be who's is going to be, Li Shing. While on the opposite side, it was both the support and the AD carry Li Shing for Team Tigers.
Good. Yeah, and a little bit of a difference actually in the top lane. One of them opting for D-Blade and the other one opting for D-Shield. So a bit of signs as to how each player in the top lane decides to play. This may not be that snooze fest that we saw in the first one.
Maybe. Like you mentioned, it was 9 minutes for that first blood in our semifinals matchup. Of course, that did go towards the jungler, Jaden C. of low 3. Oh, the W does land. CC chain looking for more damage. Flash out for Lily. 4 shot on top of Who's. And just a blown summoner spell. TP still available for Lily, though, to come back if need be.
So, that jungle leashing actually let that happen, because if you think about what happened there, Lily was level 2 a lot earlier, but what does the Misfortune take as level 2? Not that very helpful. You need that Seraphine second ability to help you out. Seraphine was still level 1 because of that longer leash. Both the Jhin and the Xerath hit level 2 at the same time, and this is actually one of our producers' favorite Xerath build, the first strike. The guaranteed artillery landing with the slow into the combo. It gives you so much gold, it propels you forward so much more. And now you're a first strike of Misfortune. You've got to worry about the Xerath raining the abilities on you before you proc your first strike. It's pretty hard to proc first strike with your Q. You kind of need to use your E to do it, but your E is so expensive.
Oh, the CC chain again, but the Q from Jungle Ninja will go on the minion, unfortunately. We've all been there before.
Yep. Very unfortunate.
That's the top lane. Samurai, he's not having a fun time right now against Coley here. As, he does.
That's another test of spirit.
Test of spirit. And now he has to test himself. He's good at dodging these tentacles here. One does land. And actually, he might just go in for the kill here. First blood. Leap strike there. And definitely leap of faith. And Jaden, unfortunate alpha strike lands on top of Jaden. Flash is available for Jaden. Just walking out. Cedric still waiting. This could be another kill for Coley, maybe. TP is available for the Nasus.
Yeah, he's got it back. This is not looking good. Jaden is at like sub 100 HP. That's going to be a dash.
Okay. And Jaden just waiting for Nasus to come back for some reason, but TP is still available. But
I think they're just not going to waste the EXP because, that was a couple waves already. Samurai does have the TP, but was probably waiting for an item or something. Not too sure.
And get the long sword. He got his biscuits in his pocket as well. I want to see what Coley will be getting in their pocket. Not just yet. Still hasn't back just yet. I see Lily might be in trouble. Wait for the CC chains coming out from this bot lane. Honestly, amazing skill shot landing so far from these guys. Well, I just gassed him. At top side, Jaden was still low, and Jaden will fall. 2 kills in the pocket of the queen of the top lane.
Yeah, so actually, I will say, the Nasus matchup is not bad. You're going to get like the worst feeling ever in lane. You're going to be down so much CS. You're going to get pushed constantly. But here's the thing. When when it's pushed in, you don't get to control where the Alawi tentacles spawn.
Yeah.
One of the most common places for the tentacle to spawn is actually at the base of your turret. And as Nasus, even though you can't farm, you can still stack off those tentacles. You know, hit it once, cue the second auto, you do still get your +3. It does negate a little bit of that oppression in the early game, and it keeps you stacking for the mid to late. But I haven't been seeing Samurai do that. He's kind of just clearing it for gold. I'm not sure if he's saving it for the minions, and that's why, but he can Q them.
Yeah, potentially. Oh, but it does land. Ultimate is available for Coley as well. Wants to go for the dive, but might not be needed. Might just be the leap there. Flash out. Coley, 3 kills on the board. Thumbs up from Gamer as he will survive, but it looks like the Dragon's being taken underneath Jaden's nose, actually. That's quite impressive. As he zoom to the left, maybe, as Jaden's going in.
Oh,
no, not wait.
He should know now.
They should know. Dragon's getting lower. One smite will take it. The smite is
800.
available. There goes on top of him. And
He
it stole
stole
it. Looks like Jaden was the one to carry the
He's
game from last
chasing.
game. Jaden chasing, hungry for the kill. The Alpha Strike in.
Ooh.
The wrong way, Cedric. But the Q will land. And Jaden, first kill for the team yet again.
A little bit of fancy footwork, blue suede shoes
Hey,
action.
you know what? We don't. I like
Cedric.
that. I like that. But so close from Cedric, though. But we're just